Good evening. This is CTV News for Wednesday, July 13th. I'm Denise Douglas.
And I'm Byron Scott. Thank you for joining us tonight.
All right, Six Flags shuts down for hours due to a bomb threat. Shortly before the park opened, rescue officials say they received word that the theme park security received the threat. The bomb squad was dispatched to investigate. 2 suspicious packages were found inside.
Security did a search of the park prior to allowing in any patrons, and they did find 2 suspicious packages. The fire department's bomb squad was called into the scene to investigate, and at that point all the employees inside the park were removed to a safe area. Patrons were still not allowed in the park. We have since cleared the first package as being non-explosive.
I'm down here to take my youngest son to Six Flags for a regular season pass holder. Apparently drove on by and noticed all the cars parked onto the side, and it's like saying that it's 10:30, they're open. So then I drove on down a little bit further and saw all the cop cars blocking all the entrances, and then I pulled over to the side and asked somebody. He says apparently there was a bomb threat.
Again, both packages were found to be non-explosive, and the park has since reopened.
And Prince George's police are investigating the shooting death of a 22-year-old man. This is where that crime occurred at about midnight this morning at this house on the 12,000 block of Hunterton Street in Upper Marlboro. Now, someone police say called 911 and reported hearing gunfire. The victim has been identified as Andre Stocks. His body was found in the backyard. Police say he lived at that address.
Our detectives are actively working to establish a suspect and motive in the case. Anyone who may have any information is asked to please call our Crime Solvers number. It's 1-866-411-TIPS, and we have a $25,000 reward in this case.
And again, that number is 1-866-411-TIPS. Well, in the light of the deadly events in Baton Rouge, Minnesota, and Dallas, the National Association of School Psychologists is urging parents to have open discussions with their kids about the events. The nation watched live last week as a gunman shot a dozen Dallas police officers, killing 5. And many people have seen the recent shooting deaths of black men captured by cell phone video. School psychologist Scott Showalter says processing these events can be tough on young minds.
We encourage that the kids just aren't constantly watching the news about what's going on. The news tends to be very negative, tends to be focused on the problem without getting to the next step, which is what we want kids to be able to do is critically think to get to solution generation. So yes, we want them to be exposed to the news, but it's also important if they're going to watch the news to think about the problem, analyze it, and as they get older especially, really talk about solution generation with their parents so they feel like they're active participants in making things better in the U.S.
Meantime, a group of Prince George's police is in Dallas attending the funerals of 3 of the Dallas officers who were shot.
Well, Byron, as you know, it is one of our most precious resources. So what happens when millions of gallons of H2O is stolen? Patricia VILLONE is in Laurel reporting on a new campaign to combat water theft.
If you see a meter such as this, that's a legal purchase of water. If you see a hose connected directly to the fire hydrant, that's theft.
The Washington Suburban Sanitary Commission says that last year, about 145 million gallons of water were stolen from hydrants to fill up swimming pools, mobile car washes, neighborhood carnivals, and more.
Often in newer neighborhoods, contractors may need water to do landscaping or mix cement, but they don't have access to H2O because the utilities have not been hooked up yet. So they come to the nearest fire hydrant to hook up.
It is a problem. It's an issue that goes unreported because a lot of people don't know. That's why we have our water theft prevention program that we're kicking off today.
When we show up to a fire hydrant and we have damaged threads, it limits our capabilities to potentially use that hydrant.
Officials demonstrated what an illegal hookup looks like.
Okay, so now he's releasing the water. There's no meters coming straight into the hole.
And this is an actual meter that should be attached at the hydrant for customers who are compliant. WSSC says they get complaints of possible illegal activity on a regular basis. People call in several times a year about Frank's Garden Center in Lanham, but investigators say the company has always been found in compliance. It just hides its meter to prevent theft.
In some rare occasions, the business owner may install the meter farther up the line from the fire hydrant. In those particular situations, we don't know if it's legal or not until we get a call and go out and take a look at the situation.
WSSC maintains nearly 42,000 fire hydrants across Prince George's and Montgomery counties. The agency says between $500,000 and $1 million worth of water is stolen each year. From Laurel, Patricia VILLONE, CTV News.
Thank you, Patty, for that insightful report. If you suspect any illegal fire hydrant connections, call 301-206-8888. You are watching CTV News. I'm Denise Douglas.
And I'm Byron Scott.